Hi, today we're going to talk about humorous tolerance and divorce court irritants. So, we're going to talk about how people go through lives. They get out of that, oh, I'm in love, and then real life sinks in, and then you start seeing the differences between the two of you that may be causing some relationship problems. And you want to start taking a look at that before you make commitments to see if they're a humorous tolerant or a divorce court irritant. So let's talk about that,
Yeah.
Freddie.
Well,
So
so Wayne irritates me all day long. And we've learned, because I bug him too. And
it's hard to believe.
yeah, hard to believe. I know I'm perfect in every way.
Yes.
So, like, he'll leave the lights on, or he'll leave the back door open and leave the house. There are so many little things. It just goes on constantly. But what we learn to do is you look at that and go, am I okay with that? Does it just make me laugh? Like, we would watch his parents, and they had this really funny
Oh my
relationship. They
God.
were so hysterical, and they just laughed all day long about how they irritated the crap out of each other.
It wasn't all like it wasn't always like that, but eventually you got to grind it out to smooth it out. But one of the things that a tip to look for in your relationships when you're dating and you're going long term in that relationship is start taking a look at are things that this other person is doing, is it more of a logistical or what I would call binary? Can you just go, can you put it on a schedule? Do they know their responsibility? And so you have this agreement and everybody's aware of it. And sometimes your partner or you can take responsibility for that and actually change that behavior or get a different outcome. And that's super important. Now,
Yeah.
on the other side of it, it might be something that they can't change. And so there's a fork in the road. And so it becomes either a divorce court irritant or a humorous tolerant. So let's really dive into, what things can change.
Well, the thing that, like, I've seen couples, we have a few of our friends, couples, and they are diametrically opposed politically, like total opposites. They decided that they really want to be together, they love each other, and all the rest of the stuff is great. So that's something they never even talk about. It's a humorous tolerance, but they don't ever laugh about it. It's like they just know that that's the way the person is. They're on the opposite side. It doesn't matter because all the rest of it is so wonderful.
In their minds, they're saying, that person is crazy. I don't understand it. But I find it very humorous.
Yeah, I love it.
Or we just like it, we don't talk about it.
Don't talk about
A lot of times it's politics or religion or, different ways you may address a situation in business,
Yeah.
in your career. You would handle it so differently that it just irritates you, but if you go down that rabbit hole, it's not going to serve the relationship, and that's not a wise way to treat your partner. We always come back to the thing of you always want to treat your partner with respect. That's super important, and create trust and safety. Those are the bedrocks, the foundation of every communication and how you deal with your partner. So sometimes the best respect you can give to them is, I don't understand your position, but I'm going to respect it. And so we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Or I know there's a big difference, but it's kind of funny because I just see it so differently.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's okay. You just agree to disagree. And the thing, what can happen is if you get where you're into that cycle of nagging, you always leave the back door open. You never turn the light off. You always complain about my driving. When you start doing all that, because I complain about drivers all the time.
All the time. So I let her drive now because it's easier.
Yeah. I'm not
let her. She's freaking out all the time. And I like to drive fairly spirited. So we have humor. She has humorous tolerance for the way I drive. I guess we're all going to die together.
Yeah, we'll die together. The good in this is that we will die together.
Yeah, so there's all these differences that you're going to come across in the relationship. Yeah. What we hope is that you can work through them. You're with a person that respects you, honors you, They give you a level of safety and trust, and
Yes.
vice versa. That's so important that you
Yes.
give that back. It can't be one directional all the time. And so, humorous tolerance, and you want to get rid of those divorce court irritants. Now, if you can't and you're dating, you need to recognize that as early as possible, because
Yes.
if you have these irritants that you go will not serve you long term and there's not enough benefit in that relationship, then maybe you just need to call it quits and move on.
Yeah. So hopefully this helped you and that you can go there with humorous tolerance and be happy and not accusatory and do not nag.
So we hope that helps, and we'll talk to you soon.